How about now? This is great. This is going to be a good one. I can already feel it. I can already feel it. Look at everyone coming in. Oh, thank you. Yay. This is crazy. This is gonna be one. And is the sound okay? Because on the last one, I couldn't post the interview because my sound was so terrible. Is the sound better this time? Like before, it was like fuzzy and clipping. Sounds good. Okay, thank you, Dan. Yes, something was going on with the mic last time. So we're gonna get into it. This is very exciting. This is very exciting because yeah, this will be an interesting one. We've got a great finale today. My wife and I were going on a walk. Yep, sound is good. Just want to test that. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the love. I had the youth pastor filter on. I'm going to have to fix my voice to get better. Hilarious. Yeah, my wife and I literally went on a walk. We're like, we'll go on a walk before, and then I'll come back and get all the videos ready and everything for the finale. And then our neighbor, one of our neighbors, offered us a garden tour. So, you know what a sucker we are for garden tours. So, an hour later, we're getting back just in time. This lady has lived here for over 40 years and her and her husband have been building this garden over those 40 years. So, it's one we had been admiring from afar. And then we finally got the opportunity to tour it. And the rest is history. In that we were just gone for an extra hour. So Daddy isn't that prepared. So this is... There we go. Nothing like a little freeze just to keep you on your toes there, huh? Lord. We were at like 29 people and then it dropped to 7 after it froze. That's hilarious. People are like, what is happening right now? We joined a contest finale and this Fix-It Felix cosplayer is talking about going on a garden tour with his family. Yeah, it was very nice. They had some lovely hydrangeas. She gave us some jasmine as well, which is just delicious as the day is long. Hooray! So we will jump right into it. It's very exciting. I'm very, very excited about this. Oh, hilarious. Mulch Boy. Quit using your neighbor's Wi-Fi. I don't care how much you like their garden. So funny. Ah! Oh, and I also did... I posted an interview with Dustin Nickerson. That think y'all would enjoy. Oh, and Dave is here. Thank you, Dave. Church went long this morning. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt anyone's church here. I know a lot of us hanging out here. Everyone is making sacrifices to be here, and I greatly appreciate it. So we will keep it to the hour. Basically, from now until 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to play the top 3 finalists, and then we're going to bring the winner on for a live Q&A interview. But that's the name of the game, so thank you guys for hanging out today on your valuable Sunday afternoons. I really do appreciate it. The fact that we could all come in here together and fellowship, break comedy bread together. Sound seems a bit low. Well, we can turn that up. How about that? I will, how about this? How about that? Is that a little better? I can get a little closer. How about that? Yay! Hooray! Awesome! Boop. 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 All right. Well, now I think we are officially all here. So what we're gonna do is play the top 3 finalist sets, and then you are going to vote. Most of you know how this works at this point, but each month I host this contest. There's a monthly theme, and then contestants get 2 weeks to write a new 60-second set based on that theme. A few things to keep in mind as you are watching these sets. This is what my wife and I watch these sets with these 3 parameters of just helping us determine the top 3 essentially, which is always so difficult. But this one we got down to, I think, like a top 5 again, and then we kind of have to sleep on it and then come back with fresh eyes because we take this very seriously. People put in a lot of work to create these sets. A lot of time and effort goes into these submissions, and we don't take that lightly. So the 3 things as you're watching these sets, this month's theme is the word comparison. So people can use that word in their sets or just use it as inspiration to build their set around. But the 3 things my wife and I will watch these sets with are just, one, how on theme is it? How uniquely do they use the theme? But also how still tethered to it is the theme, because some people submit funny sets, but they're just not that connected to the theme. So you'll get some points dinked that way in terms of getting into the finals or not. Okay, we froze again, but we're back. We're back. Just blessings on blessings. So the 3 parameters. Number 1, how on theme is the set? How funny is the set? Just like laughs per minute. How many laughs are they getting in this 60-second set? And then also, how unique is this set to this person, this comic submitting the set? Are these jokes that you could like? Okay, we're just having all sorts of tech issues over here, but I think we're good. So, how on theme is the set? How many laughs are in that 60 seconds? And then also, how unique is that set to that comic? A big challenge of this is to be writing jokes in your voice from your unique comedic point of view. So, that's something I like to challenge comics to do with on this contest as well. So, those are the 3 parameters to watch these through. And we are going to go in order. Honestly, let me be completely honest. I usually download these videos and then put them into the like my eCam, and then I'll just click through and play them. I'm gonna have to screen share them from YouTube. So if it's off frame or whatever, I may be. We're just gonna make sure everyone gets their fair shake at this. So if I bring up someone's set and the sound is bad or something's off, I may reset it. So just please take that all into account as we're flowing through this live stream today. Is I did not get a chance to kind of put the presentation together. See how that one froze? It froze with my face like that. This is ridiculous. I don't know what's going on here, but we're all together, and that's what matters most. So let me just make sure my wife texted me. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to play Johnny B's set. Then we will play Sandy B's set. And then we will play Dave V's set. We'll just keep going on that theme there. So, and what we usually like to do is play the set and then come back and people post in the comments their favorite jokes from that set and things like that. So, ain't nothing to it but to do it here. So I appreciate all of your time. I genuinely do. I love you so much. And I'm excited to get into this. And again, sorry for... No, I mean, we don't want to be sorry. We're just grateful. The garden tour took a long time, but that's no excuse for the blessings of this contest we're going to get into today. So let's fellowship around the funny. Oh, that's fun. With your first contestant. And I usually have sound effects and everything. I don't have my thing. I'm sorry. But it's still going to be a great live stream. It already is. This feels like an old pandemic live stream where I just slowly, throughout the duration of the live stream, just slowly melt down until I'm just a candle of which was my sanity. So anyway, let's get into it. We're going to do Johnny B, Sandy B, Dave V. I hear the baby crying, so everything is great. We're going to start off with Johnny B, my friends. Are y'all ready in the comments? Show me some love here. Let me get a little crowd participation here. All right. Your first contestant, Johnny B. And pray this works.
I told a student get back to work, and she said, but I already shut down my computer. So I said, well, shut it back up. I realized that up and down are not opposites. When I'm tired, I lay down, but when I'm done sleeping, I don't lay up. LeBron does layups. He also plays shutdown defense, but you're not going to stop a trash talker with shut up defense. To shut up is to clam up, but if you've got to clam down, you're going to need some Navy SEALs. If you get knocked down, that's bad, but if you get knocked up, that's worse. You can throw in the towel, you can throw out the towel, but if you throw it up, you're going to wish you still had those spare towels. To settle down is to calm down, but to settle up is to not run out on a bill. A run-in is a showdown until you stand down, and when you came in, you showed up for stand-up. So thank you for showing up. I'm going to go lay down.
Oh, there we go. Now we have sound again. So there it is, Johnny B. Well done there, Johnny B. Susan Horn liked the knocked up joke there. Very nice. James said he threw down and something is definitely up. Yeah. Uncle Dave liked the knocked up line. Sandy said incredible. Love the layup line at the ending. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dan said the wordplay was fun. Colin said this one was a brilliant piece of work. Stringing together so many one after another was a master stroke. Yeah. Most wordplay ends up as just warmed over dad jokes. Yeah. Yeah, very well done. Very well thought out, very intentional. So, very meticulously put together. So, a great one to start off with, for sure. A lot of great funny connections there and comparisons, playing on that theme. So that's Johnny B. We have 2 more. So take note. Take note on each of these contestants. What do you like? What do you don't like? What maybe gives them the edge? Take notes of this because you're going to be doing a live voting at the end of this to determine who wins. So that was number 1. That was Johnny B. The baby's crying. It's so much. It's not hard, it's just consistent. It's just every day. It's all the day. It's all the days, all the things. Little blessings is what I like to say. It's all just blessings. Just little blessings. But yeah, little blessing. Little blessing. Oh my gosh. But life's doing great, Got to do some awesome shows this week. Got to open up for Derek Stroop for 2 nights here in Atlanta, which was amazing. So got to avoid my family doing that. So everything's going great. I just like to talk to y'all. Just this is my Zoom therapy for the week. So I appreciate y'all hanging out here. I'll send you my copay later. So anyway, sorry. We saw Johnny B. Now we are going to see Sandy B. and then Dave V. So, without further ado, I present to you your next contestant, Sandra Bernstein.
I grew up in Baltimore. You may be thinking, Baltimore, America's safest city? In Baltimore, most people don't grow up, they move out. Now I live in a town called Spencerville. In comparison, they're different, but also the same. Spencerville, I can't recommend it highly enough. Baltimore, I can't recommend it. That's it, I can't recommend it. When I lived in Baltimore, HBO filmed episodes of The Wire. Spencerville also has a thriving film industry. Speed cameras. In Spencerville, I can walk to the pond and see some heron. In Baltimore, I could walk to the corner and get some heroin. Now, heron starts with an H. Heroin ends with HIV. In Spencerville, you can see wild turkeys. In Baltimore, you can see empty bottles of wild turkey. In Spencerville, I posted a selfie with my neighbor's horse, and everyone thinks I own one. In Baltimore, I posted a selfie with my neighbor's horse, and everyone thought I was one.
Hooray! There is your second contestant, Sandy B. There, let's show her some love. Great job. Another great technical writing set there, very thoughtful and good wordplay and such. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. America's safest city, says Uncle Dave. Colin said Stringer Bell needs to have a conversation with you for disrespecting Be More like that. Stringer Bell. Maybe that's from The Wire. I did not see that. Baltimore Hun from Scary Barry. James said Bernstein BG Bear does it again. Dan McGowan, fun set Sandy. Oh, Susan liked the heron joke. Amazing. I love that. Where'd it go? Who said that? Oh, Joan said I don't agree about Baltimore, but love the set. Hilarious. Yeah, some great ones there. If you've ever been to Baltimore, you live in that area, you may think one way or the other. Getting a little controversial in here, huh? But another fun, like silly, well-written comparison. You could see how she used the theme there. So two great sets of both using the theme in their unique way that has a lot of laughs. So you're picking up on a theme here of just how contestants are using the theme to write really good sets. Two killer sets to start off this with, for sure. And for those of you that maybe competed in last month's, you know, a lot of people posted good sets. Some just didn't have as many laughs, or some just weren't as on theme. You know, so just as you're watching these finalist sets, pick up on maybe some common traits of these sets that you can start applying to yours in the future. And if you're not doing, if you're not currently doing the contest and you want to compete in next month's contest, you can join at cleancomedycontest.com, which I'll put a link to in the live chat for you. Hilarious. Beardo said, how do you feel about Sandy stealing your look? That's hilarious. She doesn't have a dad hat on, though, I will say. I don't think that shirt was Eddie Bauer either. That's when you know. That's when you know someone's on to if they're also wearing the Eddie Bauer, the old EB. But yeah, people like the heroin joke, the heroin, yeah. Comparison, Cliff liked the great comparison on horse. Yeah, a lot of positive feedback here. Love, love, love the positive feedback. Amazing. Yeah, loving the conversations in the live chat here as well. So yeah, thank y'all for hanging out. So we have one more. Oh, and Susan said, love the contest. It pushes me and I appreciate the push. Yeah, I love that. We had a comic in, was he in the Ukraine? He posted in the community, because when you compete, there's also a private community where you can post with other contestants and get feedback and things like that. I think he was from Ukraine, but he was just talking about how helpful it was for him writing new material. So I'm glad you're also finding the contests helpful there, Susan. And I agree. Colin said if you're in the contest but not participating in the community, you are missing out for sure. Yeah, the community is a big part of doing this every month, is just writing with other people and having that accountability and that feedback to do so. So now, my friends, we have arrived to your third and final contestant of this May Clean Comedy Contest. I said Dave V, but for comedy's sake and for his YouTube channel's sake, we are going to call him Uncle Dave. So here is your third and final contestant of the May Clean Comedy Contest, Uncle Dave.
I come from a mixed family. Half Irish, half Italian. Half Lucky Charms, half Mafia. Not that the Mafia exists, but holidays are an interesting experience. The Italian side has lasagna, ravioli, and hand-talking. The Irish side has soda bread, Guinness, and leaves without saying goodbye. The Italian side goes to tropical paradises and comes back with a new tan, a new chain, and a new wife beater. The Irish side gets sunburn from the sun reflecting off the snow and avoids the beach like a potato famine. There are some similarities, though. Both have a hot temper, Catholic guilt, and fierce loyalty. So if you talk bad about my family, you'll have to deal with Uncle Patrick and Uncle Tony. Patrick with the brass knuckles, and Tony with the Tommy gun. Not that the Mafia exists. I come from...
Give it up. Give it up for Uncle Dave. There we go. Another great, unique comparison set there. And Uncle Dave actually, last time I was in Nashville, I taught an in-person clean comedy workshop there. And Uncle Dave pulled up, and then he pulled up to my show at Zany's that night as well, which was a lot of fun. So, not saying he's a favorite in this race. I'm just giving context for his submission. You know, I'm not voting here. I'm just the third party host here. Unbiased third party host. So what I'm going to do here. Oh, and I love this coming in. James said I'm scared to roast Uncle Dave. That's hilarious. Yeah, you may be swimming with the fishies. Dan said 3 fun sets. Comparing comparisons will be interesting. Yes, indeed. Colin said 3 great sets. Sandy said funny and on theme. Love the Mafia Lucky Charms. Potato Famine Sunburn. Lots of great jokes. Very personal. Yeah, and the Irish Goodbye one was a good one too. But a good for anyone out there, just a fun little bonus as I'm putting the names here in for voting. If you do have like 2 ideas like that, where let's say he was doing Irish and Italian, a Venn diagram is a great writing technique you can use to help generate ideas around maybe 2 separate ideas. You're trying to find the parallels and compare and contrast. Venn diagram is one of my favorite writing exercises to just find maybe unexpected connections between 2 ideas you're trying to find the funny in. So there's a little bonus for you there, just for the love of the game. That was a drum roll sound effect. So what I'm going to do is put the voting in. And actually, you know, I said I wasn't prepared, didn't have the videos downloaded, but that went pretty smooth there, I will say. So we're going to do Johnny B, Sandy B, and then one more. Uncle Dave? We'll go by Uncle Dave there. And the poll is now live, my friends. That's hilarious. Susan said, were you an elementary school teacher? We use Venn. It's good. It's an oldie but a goodie. You know? It's an oldie but a goodie. It truly is. Oh, so just for the next minute or so here, we're going to let the voting go in and see who is the winner. And I appreciate everyone for hanging out again. And just as a friendly reminder, we do this contest every month. If you would like to compete in next month's contest, I will put a link in the live chat here, or you just go to cleancomedycontest.com. I pinned the link in the live chat as well for you if you'd like to compete. Winner gets $100 and an interview on the podcast. But whether you win or lose, you still walk away with a lot of new jokes, which is the most exciting part. So let's see what we're doing here with this voting. 100, says James. Yep, you win 100. You win a band. I think that's maybe band is 1,000. A rack, a Benji. You win a Benjamin. You win a Benji. So let's see here. It's looking like we have 18 votes in right now. 29 people watching. So what we're going to do, I'm going to do a quick countdown just to give people just their final chance to get the voting in here, because we've had people come back at the last minute. So we're going to give them one more minute to get the voting in. Oh, because Sandy is making a comeback. Looks like Uncle Dave, looks like my promotion did not help the voting there. I'm so sorry, buddy. Dave at 10%. Sandy at 45. Johnny B at 45. 20 votes. 24 people watching. Everybody vote. 24 people are watching. 20 people have voted. Vote, 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 vote. 20 votes, 24 people watching. 45 to 45. Oh my gosh, Johnny B, 48 to 43. I wish I could have this on the screen with us. 21 votes, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holy cow. Ooh, that was a close one. At the buzzer, 48% to 42%. That is one of our closest for sure. But Johnny B has dethroned last month's winner, Sandy Bernstein. Oh my goodness. That was a close one. That was very fun. But congrats to all three contestants. We're going to bring Johnny B live on the show here. But congrats to all the contestants. And congrats to you for hanging out with us on this Sunday. I appreciate your time. We're going to bring Johnny B on, but we will wrap up everything by 1 o'clock so we can all get on with your very valuable Sundays, which I'm so grateful that you spend these with us here once a month. So thank you so much. I agree with Dan. Dan said all three did a great job. Totally agree. Ty asked, how can I be a part of this next month? I put a link in the live chat, and you can just go to cleancomedycontest.com to register, and you can compete in next month's contest, which will start not tomorrow, but the following Monday, just as a heads up. So, what we are going to do here, yeah, happy to help there, Ty. What we are going to do here, because this will be part of the podcast as well. Oh, look at that. That's so funny. What is that? Where did that come from? Excuse me. Sorry, that was from my workshop. That's funny. Anyway, fun fact though, we do break down a Dustin Nickerson joke in that workshop, and then I got to interview him about it, which was pretty fun. But we're going to bring on Johnny B. I'm going to do like a proper podcast intro and play his set again, and then we're going to bring him on live. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Hot Breath, the show where you learn comedy from the pros. I am your host, comedian Joel Byers, and this episode is with our May Clean Comedy Contest winner, Johnny B. Every month I host this contest where comics get 2 weeks to write a brand new 60-second set based on that theme. The winner gets $100 and an interview on the podcast. So if you'd like to join next month, you can go to cleancomedycontest.com. And here is this month's winner, Johnny B.
I told a student, get back to work, and she said, but I already shut down my computer. So I said, well, shut it back up. I realized that up and down are not opposites. When I'm tired, I lay down, but when I'm done sleeping, I don't lay up. LeBron does layups. He also plays shut-down defense, but you're not going to stop a trash talker with shut-up defense. To shut up is to clam up, but if you've got to clam down, you're going to need some Navy SEALs. If you get knocked down, that's bad, but if you get knocked up, that's worse. You can throw in the towel, you can throw out the towel, but if you throw it up, you're going to wish you still had those spare towels. To settle down is to calm down, but to settle up is to not run out on a bill. A run in is a showdown until you stand down, and when you came in, you showed up for stand up. So thank you for showing up. I'm gonna go lay down. I told a student.
Johnny B, you did it. Wait, there we go. Johnny B.
Hello, Joel. Can you hear me?
I can. Sorry, I had you
All
muted
right.
at first. We're back. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Yeah, this was such a fun set, and I got so much great feedback during the live stream. And you're so consistent in these contests. So I would be curious of kind of how you approach each month, because every time you submit, it's something unique and always well written. So this month's theme was comparison. So maybe try to talk us through kind of where you started and how you got to where you ended up.
So for this one, this the original thing the idea that I started with, the premise happened a few weeks prior with a student, and they had used that term. I shut down my computer, and it kind of I stored that in the back of my head. So when I saw the topic of comparison, I'm like, this is perfect. And so I just started brainstorming as many different sayings that had, up or down in them, and then started putting things together, pulled things out of that, and kind of created a story out of that. This is basically like the second version of it. There are a few things I changed in there. And once I get a draft done, then I'm doing a lot of collaboration. Colin and I often collaborate. Also, my brother's a comic in Cleveland, Paul Beel. And so every day we're sending stuff back and forth.
Oh,
A lot of things I bounced off him. And another shout out to a Rochester Clean comic, Pastor Matt. Um, he's a good friend of mine. I always bounce stuff off of him also. Um,
interesting. That's fun to hear. Your brother is also a comic. That's very funny.
yeah. Yeah, I joke and say when people ask like when did you write your first joke? It was sometime after when my little brother started to be able to talk. It seems
Yeah.
like for more than 50 years we've been bouncing jokes off of each other.
Hmm.
Um, and both of us, he started about a year before I have. I've been doing comedy a little more than 2 years. But for our whole lives we've been bouncing jokes off each other.
I love that. Yeah, and the collaboration is such a big part of it as well. And that's why, yeah, I love the community of the contest as well, of just people posting and getting feedback and stuff. It is um, so much more fun when you do have people to bounce ideas off of, and it just helps bring in new points of view. And even analyzing other people's comedy can help you to think funny and look for own improvements in your own jokes. Like it all kind of helps the other. Especially, I think with comedy, it can feel like it's our jokes and it's our set and it's all up to us. But the collaboration really is kind of a secret sauce to help you get better faster.
Yeah, when you're looking at, somebody else's work in the community, sometimes it's a lot easier to find improvements in somebody else's work. And then once
Mm-hmm.
you start making suggestion to somebody else, then you eventually start to, okay, I'm going to live, by my own advice. And I'm a middle school general music teacher, and I talk with my students a lot about collaboration. Like throughout history, you've got these collaborative artistic groups. In literature, you have the Inklings and the South Siders and Harlem Renaissance. In music, you've got the Beel Streeters and the West Coast Sound, the San Francisco Sound. Um, and so when we're doing creative work in class, I ask my students to group up and share ideas, and everyone has their own work, but you contribute to each other, and each person's success it becomes your success. So it's fun to actually live that through this community.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any other parallels between your expertise in music and how it can translate to the creative process of comedy we could maybe learn from?
One thing I talk about in class a lot is the rule of three when you're composing. Create a fun little idea, do it again, and then change it. Don't do something more than twice without changing it. Um,
Oh. Power of threes. That's a very, yeah, a very popular joke writing technique as well. That's how interesting. So with your starting off with like you already shut down your computer, like you hearing your students say this, and then you kind of file it away as like comics do, and we're like, oh, maybe there's something there later. So how do you then start to turn that kind of sentence or idea into this fully fleshed out set? So it kind of started, that was kind of the nucleus, if you will. But then where do you go from there to start building this thing out?
for this one, I kind of did a T chart up on one side, down on the other. Started putting things together. Um, that's something I'll often do when I'm looking to compare two different things. Aspects of each one on one side, and then put it together. And um, and then it just I'm always looking for story. And there's another parallel between creating music and creating comedy
Mm-hmm.
is you want to take your listener on a journey. You want to tell them a story. So I'm looking, okay, how can I take these different random concepts and kind of stitch them together so we feel like in this 1 minute you've taken a journey with me. So I look at, okay, how are these going to go together?
I love the idea of finding a story, even in like a short 60-second set. Um, I just got my brain spinning of like, yeah, thinking of current jokes I have and how to like, they're funny, but maybe how to create a story around them that makes them resonate with the audience even more.
Yeah, if you look at this piece, it's like telling a story. You've got your build up, you've got your climax, and that's what I look for at the end, where I do that rapid fire stuff. Is just kind of building up to that, setting the stage, and then I hit that, and then we come down laughing after it.
So, what is your favorite joke from this set?
What is my favorite joke from this set? The one that gets the biggest laughs is always the knocked down, knocked up.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
I really like the shut up defense.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't get as many laughs as I would hope. It kind of gets a chuckle from here or there. So I'm actually taking it out of this set in version 3. But that's still my favorite.
So, have you tried this on stage?
I have, yes.
That's good. Yeah. So the knocked up gets a laugh. The
That
shut. Yeah. The other one is sometimes like especially like with the writing in the contest. Sometimes yeah, a joke plays on screen, but it doesn't translate to the stage. Or it's more like I see what you did there, as
mhm.
opposed to like them actually laughing out loud at a show. There's yeah, some things just don't translate, even if they are quote well written. It just doesn't translate to like the stage as much.
I
So I think
also
I've
have a
noticed that. Yeah.
I also have a theory that this bit may not age well because after I first used that term, shut your computer up, um, like a week later, I heard a student in a different class say, "Oh no, my computer just shut down. Now I'm going to have to shut it back up."
She
So
said
I
that.
think a student said that, yeah, a totally different class, unconnected. So I'm thinking, in this computer age, that eventually that may just become part of the vernacular, and people are going to say, okay, I got to do my homework. I better shut my computer up.
I have wow. Now, I've never heard that. Maybe they heard you rehearsing in your classroom, and maybe they took it
Maybe.
from you. Because all your submissions are like filmed at some point, part of your classroom. It seems like.
Many of them. I always look at part of the submission is the setting.
Uh huh.
Where what ties in to the whole theme of the piece. And obviously on stage you don't have that luxury, but when you have a camera, and just to have that computer behind me to just kind of set the stage a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I Sandy will do the same with like her Zoom backgrounds as well. She'll kind of set like a setting for the context for the set. So yeah, it can definitely help uh, create more context or just more depth to your submissions for sure.
Yeah, when I did my lemonade one, I really wanted to go out, on the front sidewalk of my house, but it was January in Rochester, and
Oh my gosh.
not not going to film a set out at that point.
Yeah, a comment on the live stream was from Colin about he always sees Johnny that one of the things I have seen in Johnny's writing is that he isn't stringing a bunch of one-liners together. There is an actual arc. He is using real comedy technique.
Yeah, I do a lot of wordplay,
Uh
and
huh.
if you're just throwing puns out there, it sounds like dad jokes. So you've got to package it in a clever way. I've got a couple things where I do wordplay, and I use that kind of rapid fire thing that you saw in this set. I also have things where I put them on big cards, big cue cards, or PowerPoint, and that gives
Mm-hmm.
it a different feel than just silly puns. And I do a couple original songs too that are just packed full of puns. I have one called the Country Western Omelet, and it's of course just it's about a boy and a girl who fall in love and share their love of a Denver omelet. And so it's it's packed full of egg puns, and it's lots of fun. So whenever you have puns, you've got to package them somehow. If you're just doing one-liners with them, it's like it turns into groaners. So you've got to do something different with them.
Yeah, your sets always. So that's one thing when people submitting these is like they're funny, but they don't have as consistent of laughs. So if someone is in the contest and they want to pack in more laughs, kind of share your approach to how you make sure not only is there a story and all of that, but there's actually like consistent laughs throughout.
It's word efficiency. You go through
Mm-hmm.
there, and any extra word. I'm counting syllables constantly. Um, how can I get this down shorter, and then trying things out in front of an audience. What if it doesn't hit in front of an audience? You take it out. You know, but yeah, word efficiency.
Yeah, will you transcribe your set as well and then see where the laughs are and how you can tighten it up that way?
Oh yeah, definitely. When I'll put like all my punchlines for a set in a spreadsheet, and then I'll go back and listen to recordings of the set, and I'll rank each one 1 through 4 as far as the number of laughs, and then I could see, with different audiences, okay, this one's hitting all the time. This one didn't hit for this particular audience, but it did all the other times. And that's one way I decide what do I keep in a set.
Hmm. Yeah, and you'll do that with all your sets? You analyze them like that?
Definitely, yeah.
Wow, very impressive. Yeah, and Cliff said he's going to sign up next month because he feels like this contest activates something deeper in your creativity.
Way to go, Cliff. Yeah, it definitely has in mind. I look at the material I'm performing now, and so much of it has come out of, boy, about a year I've been doing this contest
Mm-hmm.
now. And I have so many bits that I wrote for this contest, and then I've expanded on them, and they're just part of my regular repertoire now.
I love to hear that. Yeah. Yeah, you're so consistent and your sets are always funny. It just comes down to a thing here or there that what makes people actually get into the top 3. But my wife and we're debating it every month. Like we literally like have to sleep on the top 5 every time. Just like we'll come back to this. We're gonna break up our family over who is right about. No, it's not that crazy, but yeah, we certainly enjoy it, and your sets are always fun and unique. So I'm hoping people can hear
Thank
your
you.
set and find inspiration in their own writing. Is there anything like to close with here of like your what you've learned from participating in so many contests, or just you understand the show and who this helps? So anything you could share to help the hot breathiverse out there.
Boy, one thing I've gotten a lot better at through doing this show is facial expressions, just recording myself up close. And then one thing I've learned in the past couple months, before then I was always using the front camera because,
Uh
that's the best camera on the phone. I paid a lot for a renewed iPhone 12 Pro, right? But then the last but then the last couple months I used the FaceTime camera, and that allows me to see the facial expressions like right up, right? And
huh.
sometimes, before that I'd go back and watch my recording. Oh, it's not quite what I want, and I'll go, run down the hall into the bathroom and practice it in the mirror. But using the FaceTime camera has helped me really bring in the facial expressions. And another thing I've been working on is the pause. And one thing that adds a lot of power to the pause is what do you do with that face? What do you do during that pause? You do some kind of gesture, you do a facial expression, and that fills the pause. Especially when you're not in front of an audience, when you're just doing it to a camera and the pause feels like forever. And after the first punch on this set, I tried to do a really long pause. And this is another thing I talked about with my brother, is where I had that angry face and then went to neutral face and then like the confused face. And so those facial expressions have been huge. So any young comics, I recommend record yourself practicing close up and really add those facial expressions. It brings it to life.
For sure. Yeah, and I did notice that pause in this one for sure. And in 60 seconds, I salute you for committing to it, because I know some people will try to cram a lot into 60 seconds and then just be rushing through the set and it not really have any comedic timing. They're more of just trying to get through it. So the fact that you are intentional about marrying the writing and the performing, I think, is what makes your set stand out so much, is that you're intentional about not only what you're saying, but how you're saying it.
Yeah, and the pause was some feedback that you had given me like last August, and at the same time, the exact same feedback from a local comic that works at the club here, Vinny Paulino, and he said the same thing. You got to make people laugh. You've got to give them time to laugh. And then it
Mm.
was funny. A month later, we started school, right? And I realized, I'm the teacher who likes to joke around, but as a teacher, you have a very short kind of clock in your head as far as how long you can wait after a joke. Think of it like an NFL quarterback, how they've got to release the ball in like 2 seconds or something. They have that clock in their head. That's way too long in a middle school classroom to pause after a joke. And so, after 30 years of doing that and kind of retraining myself, because in the classroom, you pause too long, kids are falling out of chairs, side conversations start, all sorts of crazy things start. So it's, um, you know, I think a lot of things I've done in the classroom really translate well into being a stand-up, but that's one thing where I've got to make a change when I'm on stage. It's just pause, and I'm up to a point now where I just enjoy the pause. And
Mm.
sometimes, some of my jokes with the wordplay, it takes a while for the laughs to kind of go around the room, and just to sit back and watch that happen is getting to be a lot of fun.
Oh, I love that. Fun is the name of the game, Johnny, for sure. So where can people follow you or keep up with you, or if they want to reach out to you with questions? Anything
My
you want to
social
promote?
All right. My socials are Laugh with Johnny B.
Okay. Noise. Just the letter B. Oh, and that's your
Correct.
website too. Okay, cool.
Correct. Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll
Yes, sir.
put these in the show notes for people to connect with you and hopefully maybe reach out to you as well, cuz you're very consistent in the contest and you're consistently up there in the top picks. And I think this interview gave people a sneak peek into why, and that's a lot of behind the scenes work, both personally and collaboratively, to help you create such consistently high quality comedy every single month. So congrats, Johnny. Your hard work is
Thank you,
paying
Joel.
off.
Thank you.
Well, there you go, Hot Breathverse. Go follow Johnny B. Go support him and all he has going on. Feel free to reach out to him with any questions, or me as well if you would like, or if you would like to participate in next month's contest, just go to cleancomedycontest.com. But one more time for Johnny B. And we will see you next month, Johnny.
All right. Thanks, Joel.
Bye. Yay! We did it. Ooh, that was fun. That was so much fun. Well deserved. It's so funny when I interview the winners and then people are like, "Oh, they put in a lot of work to win." That's part of a big part of why they won, because they are putting in the work to make it happen. So, congrats to Johnny again. Congrats to Uncle Dave and Sandy B as well for making it to the top 3. Congrats to everyone that competed in this month's contest. We will start the June one next Monday, not tomorrow, but the following Monday. But I will have more details about that in the Clean Comedy Contest community. But we have made it. It is 1 o'clock. We will land this plane and let you all get back to your wonderful Sundays. But I'm so grateful for all of you and appreciate your valuable time. And honestly, hit me up with any questions. But otherwise, we will see you next month, my friends. I love you all so much. All right, now, we're going to get out of here. All right, we're going to go. We're going to go. I appreciate you, though. Have fun out there. Happy Sunday. We'll see you next month. Bye, y'all.